California is making news again, and it's not surprised that Governor Newsom is just doing his own thing right now. Let me just tell you this, Proposition AB 1955 is something that he just signed the bill and it passed, and it's going to be effect at the beginning of the next year. So what that means is, just let me just take you straight to it. This is what it means. Governor Newsom has signed into law Assembly Bill 1955, AB 55, a bill that takes the unprecedented and outrageous step of instructing school districts to lie to and keep secrets from parents about their own children. It instructs school officials to lie to parents if their children changes their gender, name, pronouns at school. The governor's action is a betrayal of the thousands of California parents and parent advocates who have spoken against AB 1955 during the rushed committee hearings over the last several weeks. And then the problem with this is, well, let's just...
And parent notification policies on their kids' gender is making its way through the state legislature. It passed the state Senate today. AB 1955 would prohibit schools from implementing policies that require parents to be notified about their child's gender identity or expression without the child's consent. Supporters say it's important students can come out to their families on their terms. Before the vote, parents, advocates, and legislators voiced their opposition to the measure. They say it sidelines parents.
You know, this is a parents' rights issue. When you're talking about a child announcing that they are gay, that's one thing. But when they want to medically alter who they are, that is a medical procedure that parents have to be involved in. There is reasonable ways of dealing with this issue, and we need to get to that. AB 1955 is not that.
I have never seen an effort to damage the relationship between children and their parents like this one, especially at a time when children need their parents' love and understanding the most.
The original bill was gutted 3 weeks ago. It was amended to what it reads now. The bill heads back to the assembly.
And this created something. It's just a reaction. It's a chain reaction. So this is happening right now.
X and SpaceX CEO Elon Musk says he's moving both of those companies' headquarters to Texas.
In a post on X today, Musk said that a bill that California Governor Gavin Newsom recently signed was the final straw.
It bans school districts from requiring staff to notify parents if their children change their gender identification. On his social media site X, Musk posted, quote, "Because of this law and the many others that preceded it, attacking both families and companies, SpaceX will now move its HQ from Hawthorne, California to Starbase, Texas." That's in South Texas near Brownsville.
Now, he followed that up by posting again on X a few minutes later, saying that X headquarters will move to Austin. No word yet on where exactly Musk would move X's headquarters or how many jobs that might bring to Central Texas. X and SpaceX would be the third and fourth companies owned by Musk to have headquarters in Texas. Of course, Tesla and the Boring Company both have headquarters right here in the Austin area.
X and Space.
Boom. Well, if you agree with Governor Newsom, congratulations. You're destroying the state. Isn't that oppression? That's my question. Isn't that oppression? You making us accept your ideologies. And when we cancel God, when we cancel take out of the equation, God out of the equation, God is not going to protect California. So we have to say it, and that's exactly what I have this podcast, because I'm a parent. I have my girls, my daughters, they go into school, public school. It's a great public school, and yet I think this is going to be the last year in the public school system. Me and my wife, we've been talking about it, and I think God has been telling me that we have to do something about this. So this is going to be the pivotal point where we take our daughters out of school and no more. They gotta go homeschool. Now we have friends. I have friends who actually work in Tesla. I have friends who actually work in X or Twitter. and most likely they're going to lose their jobs. I'm going to text them right now because I didn't know this. And I would just want to see, and I just want to pray for them at the same time. It's like, thank you. And people who I'm not judging. I'm just telling you this is the actions that our governor is taking. And now people are not going to have jobs. People are going to lose their jobs. People are going to go unemployed. The economy of California, it's literally just, it's going to be really hard to recover. But I have a reason. I'm sorry. I have a solution for you guys. Jesus is a solution. So this is what we got to do. Please stop what you're doing, thinking. Your way of thinking, it's dividing, it's breaking, it's not giving peace to people. Instead, we are oppressing others because of your ideologies. Whatever the program is, I don't know what the program is. If that is not oppression, what is it? If that is not oppression, what is? The incursion of cancel culture into our society has created a complete mess. And this is why their moral standards fail. They fail to recognize it, and they fail to recognize its ethical weaknesses, and that's the issue. They get offended by beliefs that don't square with their own, and now we are a cancel culture. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to California. Last video.
Children who struggle with gender identity are at higher risks for all kinds of mental health issues and bullying and whatnot. And I believe that nobody cares more for their kids than their own parents. Are there bad parents? Absolutely. But the overwhelming majority of parents do love and care for their kids. If a teacher or principal has any suspicion that this kid is going to be harmed at the home, or the child expresses that, first of all, they can advise the child not to change their records to avoid the notification, or two, they're mandated reporters and they can call for the authorities. So I just want to be clear. We stand with you. We do not want anyone to be bullied or hurt or erased or any of this stuff. We believe these are really big, important issues. When a child is going through this, it's a very difficult and emotional time and complicated time, and we believe that their parents should be there to guide them and help them. And we do not believe that the government, the schools, have any authority to withhold information from parents at all, period. And so this policy's been challenged in court. It's been upheld. There's been multiple court cases now that reaffirm that parents have a right to raise their kids. And these quote-unquote secrecy policies are not constitutional. So I wish we could have this conversation about how do we balance making sure these students have the appropriate resources and protections while at the same time making sure that parents aren't lied to by teachers. Correct. That's the conversation I think we should be having. And I wish we could have had that earlier, but I'm glad we have it now, and I appreciate the opportunity to speak. And I know I've spoken to my colleague from San Diego about this issue, and I look forward to more conversations. But
the funny thing is, I'm just going to stop the video because they're going to cut his mic, and then there's something that happened over there. I was just like, you know what? I'm not against people. I love people. I love them enough to tell them the truth. And in the same way, I want people to tell me the truth. The truth is that we are destroying with these ideologies our own kids, our own families. We are destroying other people's families and incomes because the way we think. Now, I don't agree with your thinking. You don't agree with me. If this is you, cool. Let's just put it on the table. Let's agree to disagree. That's it. Move on. Move forward. You do you, I do me. But when it comes to you taking my rights as a parent, that we're gonna have a problem, because you are going to lie to me because you want to support something that a kid who hasn't even developed himself or herself fully until she or he is 25. His brain is not fully developed, and yet you want. You know what? Actually, Frank Turek says that school systems are teaching our kids to think emotionally, not to reason, not to think something that it could be eternal also, that it could be forever. They could not even actually have the option to change if that's the case, which is something horrible. When the law is trying to take my rights as a parent, then we have a problem. Me and my wife, we already spoke about this, and we are going to do something about it. And I don't know what God we need to pray. We need to pray ASAP for our country, for our nation, from where we're from. We need to pray. I pray for California too. God's judgment is not a game. It's not a game. And I just pray that God can actually guide his people, guide you, even if you actually struggling with believing in God and stuff like that. I pray that God is going to guide us as a people of God, as citizens. And the only thing I know is when my city is prosper, I am going to prosper. Right now, it doesn't seem that this city is prospering. So Christians, we need to do something. That means we need to pray more, and we need to say something too. One of the things that God doesn't allow, and he doesn't want to allow that, but Jesus came to defend those who didn't have a vote. He came to have and give a voice to those who are voiceless. And I have a lot of thoughts in my mind right now. I'm really upset because this is happening in my beautiful California. I love California. The weather is amazing. People is amazing. Yet the governor and the authorities are thinking and trying to make us think that this is okay. This is not okay. But we gotta fight. We have to say something in truth. We have to say something not fighting with our own strength, or our own hands, but our fight is spiritual. And I know that this is the time that everybody needs to literally just go on your knees and pray and ask God to do something. And I can tell you, and I can say this because I did it in one video about Nayib Bukele, which is the president of El Salvador. He did the same thing. He went on his knees with his whole cabinet, and God did a change right there. He's rebuilding the country. He's rebuilding something it's going to establish that country, and I believe it's going to be a country for a testimony for the nations. So, yes, it's time to say something. While I have my kids here and my daughters from, they have a break. I think about this stuff. I think this is not okay. I think we need to speak and say something right now. The cancel culture, ladies and gentlemen, is here. People are going to be offended, and this is we're ripping actually what it's been said. All these ideologies, we're ripping the bitter fruit of thinkers like Friedrich Nietzsche, Sigmund Freud, Karl Marx. And these guys didn't believe that God's morality was they believe that God's morality was an oppression and delusion, yet they borrow their standard morality from God. It opened up the door for postmodern mindset. That's exactly what's happening. That is destroying and dividing and oppressing our society. So if you don't see it this way, save your comments. I love you, still love you. I pray for you, I pray for your family, I pray for your soul. I pray that God can give you that opening and you can turn to God in the way that He's able to receive you, because God is a God of just. God is just, and he is going to perform judgment in his time. So I pray for every single one of us. I pray for this nation. I pray for the world, and I pray for your family, yourself. And I'll see you guys later. I just wanted to give you this, use my platform, small platform that I have, just to keep on going with this, because this is something that has to be said. All right. I'm going to go enjoy my afternoon with my kids. We'll see you guys later. All right.